Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched WWE TLC 2019, which was broadcast on December 15th, 2019. So the kickoff show had one match. It was Humberto Carrillo versus Andrade. This match was pretty great. Andrade got busted open, which is a little bit rough to watch, but man, they both killed it. The ending of the match was a reverse Hurricane Rana off of the top rope by Humberto, delivered to Andrade, followed by one of the most gorgeous moonsaults I've ever seen. And Humberto got the win, and Andrade was just had it with Zelina. He's telling her to leave him alone, like not follow him when he's making his exit and all that kind of stuff. So I'm interested to see how that plays out and continues on Raw. Then on the main show, we started off with the match of the night. Man, this match was killer. Like, okay, there's a couple of points where like Kofi was just leaping right over the ladders that the Revival were trying to throw at it. Well, not literally throw at him, but they like dove over the ladder into the ring and stuff. It was so great. And then it was super brutal too. We had the ladders. Two ladders in the ring and another one set up between one of the ladders and the corner. And it got, oh man, I think his dash was sent through off of the ladders into that ladder after they had already done a couple of things on that ladder, and it was nuts. Like, this whole match was nuts. Oh, and speaking of nuts, the ladder right into Big E's groin. Oh my god. Like, that's it's painful to imagine what that would feel like. Even like doing it so that even doing it staged, it's still that's still gotta be pretty painful. So anyway, this match is awesome. The New Day won, and they continue their seventh champion. Are they 7-time champions? 6 time, seven time. I think they're 7-time champions now. Still, but yeah, this match was awesome. If you only watch one match from the show, watch this one. But then you may as well stick around for the next one, because this one was amazing as well. Buddy Murphy versus Aleister Black. They were I didn't take notes from either of these two matches because they're just great. They're just great. Aleister eventually wins via Black Mass, but man, the sequences that these guys were throwing down, man, so good. So good. Then we had the Viking Raiders Open Challenge with a ringside KFC table, and I thought, well, you don't have a table with food on it at ringside if somebody's not going to go through that table with food on it. And unfortunately, somebody did not go through that table with food on it. They just went through the table because they threw the food off of it. Like, put them through the food. That's, if it's going to be, you're just throwing it on the floor anyway. Oof. But anyway, the OC answered the challenge, and they were not successful because it ended in a double countout, and they all out brawled. And I just thought it was ridiculous. Vic Joseph goes about the quote unquote fans at the KFC table. He said, "They better get their $20 bucket meals and get out of there." Oh, so dumb. I enjoyed it though. And then we had Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin. Baron at one point hits Roman in the face with a can of dog food, a full can of dog food. They clarify, because it wouldn't crumple, so it would hurt more. It is a TLC match, so when Dolph Ziggler attacks, and then the Revival attacks, and then Baron hits an End of Days on the chair. There's no disqualifications. It's all legal, and he gets the win. Baron Corbin does. So yeah, there are some fun moments during that match, but for the most part, I tuned out. I was focused on some other stuff during that one. I was originally thinking that I would be playing Death Stranding while I watch this whole pay-per-view, but I did not do that. I turned off the PlayStation and gave almost my whole focus to the show itself. During during that match, I was getting some stuff done, preparing to move though. Then we had The Miz versus Bray Wyatt. I was hoping he'd be in the Muscle Man shirt, but he had his sweater on, and The Miz eventually tore off that sweater, and he had a tank top underneath. So he was like half Muscle Man gear, but it didn't have the Wyatt's Gym logo on it. But anyway, Bray Wyatt wins via a Sister Abigail, a second Sister Abigail, because he also hit a draping one outside of the ring. And then the Fiend appears on screen, and Bray goes, "Okay, I'll do it." And he goes over to the apron and throws up. He goes, "Wee!" And then he grabs the mallet, and he's going to attack Miz with the mallet. But then the lights go out. Has the whole shutting down effect when the Fiend arrives, and Bray is excited. The Fiend is here, but it's not the Fiend. It's Daniel Bryan, and he looks exactly like he did 10 years ago with his head, his hair shaved, his hair cut short, and all of that. And he beats up Bray, and before he can finish him off, Bray teleports away back to the Firefly Funhouse. So I really hope this means, I'm really excited. Like, okay, a lot of people have been saying that they didn't like this pay-per-view, as a boring pay-per-view, all that kind of stuff. But I think, I don't know, there's just like two matches I thought that were maybe not that great. The rest of it is really interesting. There are three matches at the top that were really great. And then The Miz and Bray was pretty interesting, I thought. And then the main event I thought was great. It was tough to watch, kind of, but man, it was creative. I'll get to that in just a minute, but yeah, this match, even if the match itself, it wasn't like an instant classic or anything, but it was still pretty fun to watch. But aside from that, it sets up Daniel Bryan, young Daniel Bryan, versus the Fiend, or just regular Bray Wyatt, at the Royal Rumble. That's got to be where this is headed, and I'm super excited for that, because that is the next show that I'm definitely going to. I have tickets for all of January's NXT tapings, but I'm not sure if I'm actually going to get out there for maybe I'll try to get out there for at least one of them, but the week before Worlds Collide would be a good one to go to. But anyway, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for what this match sets up for Royal Rumble. So there you go. Then we had Rusev versus Lashley. Lana at one point jumps onto Rusev's back, which distracts him enough, slows him down enough for Lashley to get the upper hand, and he puts him into one table and then right away into the other table in the opposite corner. Lots of good teases of the tables getting put through them and stuff, and then we got a table spot, except done with a guardrail. So that was kind of cool that we got to see. Well, now that we know how the match ended, it would have been nice if that was done to Bobby Lashley, but it was kind of like a misdirection, I guess, that since Rusev got put through the guardrails, that then maybe that would mean that Lashley would get the actual table. But unfortunately, Rusev lost the match. And so I don't know what exactly that means for it. What is this? He just wanted this match, but I don't think he got anything necessarily for winning it or not. Like it wasn't. I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't think we've heard the last about this. We get like follow up of what's going on with the divorce proceedings, etc. Anyway, the Roman Reigns and King Corbin brawl continues backstage. We were reminded before the main event, and unfortunately, we cut away from the finish of the not from the finish, but like the celebration of the main event. Then it's like, oh no, now the brawl is still continuing, and then they do some stuff, and Roman Reigns spears Baron Corbin off of the stands into the huge mass of the locker room there. And that's how the show ends. And it didn't need to do that. Like, maybe there will be payoff on Friday, but like, man, that's like, I don't know. I really didn't like that they went that why this brawl even have to be happening. But I am glad that they didn't cut away to it during the match. Cause that would have been even more annoying. But anyway, okay, there's lots to talk about with this main event. Becky and Charlotte versus Kairi and Asuka for the women's tag team championships in a ladder match, tables, ladders, chairs match. So yeah, I don't really want to get into it because I was like tweeting a whole bunch. So if you want to see my tweets about it, I did for my personal account at JKire, JKIRE. I was because somebody posted a GIF of a specific moment when Becky and Charlotte were clearing off the monitors from the table, from an announcer, one of the commentary tables. And it looks like because of what Kairi is doing, which is selling that she's hurt, like the timing of that and where the camera is, the angle and all of that, it looks as though a monitor that they throw off of the tables hits her in the head. But that is not the case. Slow down the footage, look at it frame by frame. The monitor passes behind a chair that's on the ground, like 2 frames before it supposedly impacts her head. And that chair is known to be very far away, at least like 6-7 feet away from where Kairi is. So it's impossible for that monitor to have hit her. And I was like saying that to people, and some people just refuse to believe, like, no, it hit her in the head. Didn't you look at the footage? I'm like, yes, I'm telling you, look at the footage. If you look frame by frame, this is why it's impossible for that to have happened. That monitor wasn't anywhere near her. Finally, and then I just like said, okay, I'm done with the internet tonight. I hope Kairi's okay because she's definitely got hurt in other moments throughout this match. And then when I checked again, I did check again last night. I was not done for the night, but I saw that somebody posted that, oh yes, here is my vantage point from the crowd. That moment, here's a video of it. The monitors weren't anywhere near her. Exactly what I had determined from my analysis of the footage. So I await the apologies from people who called me stupid for having the gall to suggest that somebody did not get hurt in a moment on a show where characters pretend to be hurt, and it's a live thing where, you know, cameras, the camera positioning and angles can make all kinds of things look different from what is actually happening in 3D space. But anyway, that moment aside, Kyrie did take a lot of damage in this match, and there's a lot of judgment being thrown around about the cause of that damage and all of that, and I think it's a lot of. I don't really want to contribute any more to that speculation about all that other stuff. Like, finally, people realize, not because of my doing, I guess, because other people saw the same thing that I did. Other people also realize, and so like blaming that moment, or saying that moment was even a moment, has died down, I feel like, but they're still focusing on a bunch of other moments of this match. But anyway, that all that aside, I thought the involvement of the rope was excellent because it had several appearances and uses throughout the match, and I thought they were very creative and awesome. And when I realized what was going to happen with that rope that was still tied to the ladder, I got really excited. I was like, oh my God, she's going to pull over the ladder with the rope. And sure enough, Asuka did that. Becky spilled off the thing. And yeah, so it was, I thought it was a really cool match. And, I mean, they did what they, yeah, I thought they did a great job. And all the obstacles that came with it, with possible injuries and stuff like that, or miscommunications, all of that, it still worked. Like, if they were not doing a great job, then it would have just completely, at any point in this match, it would have just completely fallen apart. And it didn't. There's storytelling. The spots, a lot of the spots made sense. And yeah, you got a really happy finish for fans of Kabuki Warriors. Anyway, the thing about this match is that it's so, like, it doesn't seem like Becky and Charlotte cared at all about the tag team championships. They just wanted to beat them up. And that was the story that was being told throughout the match, that they weren't even trying to go for the ladders like through most of the match when they had plenty of opportunities to. And, that does make it kind of weird, because it's the main event of the last pay-per-view of the year, which is really cool that the tag team titles are on the line for that. But the people challenging for it don't seem to care about winning that championship. So it's kind of strange, but the match still worked pretty well. And also, see some comments and stuff about the table's not breaking, and they broke a lot. There's just that one moment that didn't break, and yeah, and they were even kind of playing off of Kyrie being not very heavy by Becky and Charlotte standing on the commentary tables and throwing her to each other, like onto the tables, whereas like you would think, well, if guys were doing that, they would go through those tables, but Becky and Charlotte were confidently standing on top of the tables, on the edges of the tables, even just tossing her over to each other. So yeah, they're definitely aware of that, and I thought they used that as an element of the match that was very entertaining. So anyway, that's it, I think. Yeah, and then the brawl continuing at the end and cutting away from the victory of the Kabuki Warriors, that was dumb. But for the most part, I would give this, I'd say like 70% of this show I really enjoyed. And the other 30%, it was fairly watchable also. So I thought it was all right. I thought it was good. I thought it was pretty good. If it was just the first three matches of the night, like pay-per-view of the year. It had me, it had me tricked. It had me expecting the rest of it was going to be just incredible, but it was still pretty good. But anyway, that's it. Raw airs in 15 minutes, so I'm going to wrap this up. So let me know. I think I am going to record an episode of this week's Raw afterwards, because by the time I get done moving and everything on Friday, I'm not going to remember Raw at all. So stay tuned for that. Let me know what you thought about this episode by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe out there in all the infinite multiverses, and I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.